birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Vinod. Happy birthday to you. बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, तू जियो हजारों साल ये मेरी है आरज़ू.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Vinod.
Happy birthday to you.
Welcome to each of you, and thanks very much for coming down. I do understand that today there is a lot of traffic on the way, and hence many of us have got late, but nonetheless, let's begin right now. And obviously, all of you have assembled here and come on my invitation to celebrate a number. Okay, it's just a number, and there is no more meaning to that number after that. So, without much ado, I just want to start the program and say, during the COVID period, what most of us did was, whenever there was a birthday in a family or any friend's birthday, most of us ended up sending messages to that member of the family whose birthday it was. I just thought when I was planning this entire event, I just thought, why not do something slightly different? So today what I'm going to do is, I am going to talk about my journey so far, where I'll talk about a few of the incidents which are really etched in my memory. Many of you who are in this venue today are a part of that memory, are a part of that thing that is still in my memory, and I still relive some of those moments. So as you would have seen, some of the themes that we had was relive the moment. So I really want to relive the moment, but obviously not taking too much time, because there are many other things that are going to happen over the next 2 to 3 hours. And hence I just wanted to quickly start. So the earliest memories for me was, we used to stay in Chembur, and there was Diamond Garden very close to our house. And I do remember that the first memory that I have of my own childhood was with my bro. So Kanna, please raise your hand. So he's been a very integral part of my childhood, and I'll tell you why. So in Diamond Garden, obviously it was a garden, right? So there was a horse. There was a horse that used to take, kids around the garden, and it was like almost a kilometer and a half circle. Kilometer and a half circle, right? And my uncle with whom I used to stay, and I'll talk about him a little while later. My bro Kanna had a very specific role. Pretty much every day, he had to make sure that I take circles of that garden.
Not you, the horse takes
But the funny part out of it is that while I had the luxury of sitting on the horse and taking the circle, my poor brother had to jog behind that, because the horse will not go. He had to literally jog behind that. And look at me, at most times, I never used to be satisfied with one round. I would always say, ek aur chahiye, 2 round karo. And he, my poor brother, he used to really jog at least 2 to 3 rounds. But look at him now, look at his body. All of that is a fact that I made him jog at that garden. And I am so happy that he is now so, his body is so good that this is one of the best things that I can remember. But wait, that doesn't end there. Diamond Garden doesn't end there. So my other brother, Raju, he's sitting right in the front here. he also had a responsibility. Now, again, being a garden, obviously, there was a lot of these chart items. And his responsibility was that he had to feed me bel puri every day. Now, and he used to get funded for it, okay? So my uncle with whom I used to stay a lot, he used to fund him for that, bel puri. But I somehow used to feel, and I still feel, that half of the money he used to eat first. And only the other half used to come to me. But
That is the ticket of his body. And that is what my body has made.
and yeah, 1/2, correct. So he used to eat first, and then I used to get my share, undoubtedly. Let us be fair to this. I used to get my share in it. Now, to relive that, what I have done for my bro today is, I have made sure that in the menu today, there is bel puri. So it is my return gift to you today, okay? I am extremely sorry I couldn't get the horse here. So yeah, so that's about my brothers. Now, I can't end this childhood journey without talking about my dear sister. She's sitting right here, and I can't end this without talking about her. Now, she didn't have so much of a responsibility as compared to both my brothers, okay, because she was in college and she had her own things to do. But she had one responsibility pretty much every weekend, where she had to generally just take me for a stroll, okay, in and around Chembur. So she had to take me for a stroll in and around Chembur for about half an hour, 45 minutes. And I was probably like 5 years, 6 years old. So somebody had to hold my hand and she had to take me around. Now, she with her friends, she used to take me around. And this one fine day, she takes me around and I am in my own world, small 4 or 5 year old kid, either udhar dekh raha hoon. And suddenly there is a lamppost that bangs on my head. It's not just the lamppost banging on my head, but I could also feel she's still trying to pull me. She doesn't know what's going on.
She was in her own world.
She was in her own world. Believe me, till about 10 years back, people still used to ask me, why is that bulb still there on my forehead? It's only now that it has got less, okay? But that forehead, my bulb is still there.
And the lamppost also still there.
Yeah, lamppost is still there, absolutely still there. So yeah, this is about my dear brothers and sisters and the kind of things that they have done for me. Love you guys for it. Thank you. Obviously, the next step from all of this is my school days, right? So again, in Chembur, right, what's better than the school which is called OLPS? And a lot of my friends, so I was not one of those very studious students, right? So let's not talk about marks and what I did and all that there. But I was not one of those very studious students. But I still enjoyed my school life. I still had a lot of fun. And a lot of fun was attributed to my dear friends who are here right now. So Shankar, Anand and Sriram, with their families, of course. They are my closest friends. We have been together now for close to 40 years, if I can remember right. And there is not a moment which, neither of us or either of us don't know about each other. So we are, we know the families together. We know everything together. We discuss a lot. And there are so many days or so many weeks where we really don't talk to each other because each of us is busy in our own world. But still, whenever we talk, there is a lot of things to talk. I just hope that just the way we have maintained our friendship, I hope our kids going forward maintain that same level of friendship with each other. I still remember going to Shankar's house and he used to live in a joint family and most of my Saturdays, Sundays, we used to just share a wall between our two houses. And I used to go to his house, play cricket, he, his brother, me, we used to play cricket a lot. And not just that, this group of ours does not end with just these three guys. See, in every group, there is a very studious guy. And the very studious guy at that time in our group was Sriram and Anand. There is a guy who did not care much at that point, and that was Shankar. And there is a third category of a guy. He was the rowdy of our group. And the rowdy of our group was Srikanth. Unfortunately, at this time, he is in the US, so he is unable to make it. But he was the real rowdy of our group. I still remember on one of our New Year events, I don't know if Shankar and Anand will remember this. This 18-year-old guy, all of us are around 18 at that point, and Srikanth very bravely, being the rowdy of the group, took his car out. He had a Fiat at that point. He took his car out. I won't say where we went on that New Year's Eve, but we went across all those places which cannot be discussed in this forum right now. So we will leave that for now. But what we can very distinctly remember... No. Now you guys are married for too long, you don't need to know all this. But I distinctly remember the fact that when we were in that New Year's Eve, there was at least 20 eggs that got broken on our head at that point. And the amount of thing that Srikanth did, the way he drove his car through those by-lanes and through those places was unbelievable at that point, because he was also an amateur in driving at that point. But the five of us, and there's a fifth guy as well, Pedro, we call him Pedro, his name is also Anand, he's also in the US at this point. But the five of us, Pedro wasn't there, but the other four of us spent that night in his car. We had eggs on our head, and we just had solid fun that we took on that day. So my school memories go back to all these five guys. I have a lot of other friends from my school, but obviously, you connect with some, you stay with some, you are connected forever with some. So these are the guys who I really spent my life. Love you guys for this. I think we should celebrate this sometime again. So college, school khatam ho gaya, college, I mean like most people, you go to the college. So I went to Ruparel College, right? So Ruparel College was on Matunga West, and I was the student of Ruparel College purely from an attendance standpoint. So मेरा attendance mark हो जाता था Ruparel College. But I used to spend a lot of my time in Podar and Ruia, right? Which is on the other side of Matunga, which is on the Matunga east side. And why? Because I had a lot of friends who were more on the Podar Ruia side. And I used to go to my college in Ruparel purely to play carom. Okay, I used to go to college. I used to go to the cafeteria ke upar, there was a place to play carom. I used to play carom for 4 hours and then go back to Ruia, Podar to eat dosa along the way. So that was how I really spent my college life of 5 years, where fortunately I did not get KT in any year. I managed to pass 5 years and get on to my college, complete my college life. The thanks goes to all my friends here. So these guys are a very, very integral part, and thank you for being there, and I love you guys. How can the next phase of my college, which is here, the guy sitting in the first row, be without them?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I went to Wellington College to do my MBA, and for some very strange reason, I was not in the college from day one. I think I joined like 3 weeks later. And my friend here, Satish, strongly believes that I was a student who paid money to get into the college. He still believes that I paid money and got into Wellington College. Yeah, but let me assure you, Satish, and the rest of the guys, I did not pay any money, okay? I'm a genuine student.
genuine student, he is good, but someone else funded him.
So 2 years of college life in Wellinger was a riot. Okay, nothing short of a riot. It was a new building. I can't even call it a building. It was a hostel converted into an MBA class. And that college made the kind of things that we did or did not do was mind-blowing. Exams, lectures. Damle, Kopardekar. All these guys created so much havoc in my college life. And for one of those 2 years, I was a general secretary in the college. And the amount of work that all these guys sitting here, placement, ye karo, wo karo, so I was a secretary to them, not to anything else. And the amount of fun that we've had, and these guys who sit here, they look very shant, but they are not. They still make fun of me for all the things that I have done in that college. So that was how I spent my college life, and I think I really owe a lot to them. Even today, when we have some of our very serious conversations and very serious discussions, all of them like me have spent a lot of time in the industry, so we do get a lot of inputs. And look at their kids. Their kids are as old, all 18-year-old guys. I was just going to say that. They are all my age right now. So this was the first couple of years of my life. Now, the best part of my life, yes. No, I have still not come there. Still not come there. So all this good fun, good life, happy-go-lucky life, honestly came to a very, very grinding halt. And this was 1993, and it all came to a grinding halt for many of us in the family. Just about Diwali time, I lost my mother, and all of us, we lost our mothers. She was, I would say, a glue in the family, where she used to keep everybody in the family together. I was probably all of 20 and did not know what hit me. And sorry, I'm just choking a bit, but I did not really know what hit me because I was too young, and it all happened all of a sudden, and none of us knew what to do next. But such is life, that is life, it happens. My only regret in that entire thing is, for the time that I spent with her, I was just, I just feel very sad at times that I was really not able to do anything for her. Things were very different at that point. I was in my college life. Obviously not earning. I didn't have any resources to help her beyond, making her life difficult. But the only regret that I have in all of these years, and I still think about it very deeply, is that all of this has happened in the last so many years, and had she been there with us, I think a lot of things would have been very different, and she would have been extremely happy to see this day. I think that's one regret that I think all of us will take back, and at least the family will take back and remember for the rest of our lives, because she was such a wonderful lady. And the fact that, my regret is only that I didn't get to spend as much time with her. Things are very different now, and she would have been very happy seeing this day today. So yeah, that's what it is. Sorry. Yeah. So moving on from here, so I did my MBA, all this happened. Unfortunately for me, again, I have still another sad story to say. Unfortunately for me, in the same year, uh, my uncle, with whom I used to spend pretty much, thank you, with whom I used to pretty much spend a lot of my life. Okay, he was a bachelor and I was his son. We lost him as well in a span of 2 months. So my mom died in October, passed away in October, and he passed away in December. And it was a double shock. I can't even say life came to a grinding halt at that point, because somebody with whom you spend 18 to 20 years, 21 years of your life, the next day onwards they are no longer there for you, right? And you don't know what's going to happen, what are you going to do, because you spent all your life with them. So I just wanted to reflect on that, because as I say, while there are a lot of happy moments in my life, and I must say there are a lot of happy moments in my life, but these two incidents really shook me, and I just feel that I started growing up from there on. It was completely unplanned, and I think that was what was supposed to happen, and it happened. So moving on from there, so I did my MBA. I got this very fantastic opportunity to work with a company called ABN AMRO. I started my journey with them, and my dear friend Anup, he's sitting right at the back. First of all, I must thank him for coming down from Delhi. Okay, he's come for this just to be with us today. Thank you, Anup. And it was a wonderful organization to work for. And it was one of the kind-hearted organizations which was very employee friendly. And I think I got my first managerial opportunity to work with ABN AMRO. And the person with whom I work, besides Anup, and Anup also worked with him, is this gentleman called Vishwajit. He couldn't make it today because he had some prior engagement, so he couldn't make it today. But the kind of person that Vishwajit was, he had answers to everything that you can ask for. And so precise answers, so much of clarity. He was a listener in the real sense of that word. He would speak less, hear whatever you wanted to say, and at the end of the day, he will give you the answer that is perfect to that situation at that point. I learned a lot from him. And I still, even today, I do reach out to him whenever there is a situation that needs to be handled. And he is such a kind-hearted person. Even today, just about 2 weeks back, he reached out to me to ask what Vaishnavi, my daughter, is doing. And when I told him that she's doing her, a BTech and all of this, he was very happy to hear all of this, because I don't know if Vaishnavi remembers, but we have been to Vishwajit's house almost 15 years back, when she was like probably, Anup was also there. And she was like a really small baby, and Vishwajit still remembers those moments in his mind, and he says, those were the times when things were much better for all of us, and a lot of things happened differently for him also. But he is one person and one gentleman who really cared. At least for me, I can talk for myself. He really cared for me, and he's really left a very lasting impression in my mind. And hats off to Vishwajit. Thanks, Anup, for coming. I think really kind of you to have met it today. Moving on from ABN, the next organization that I worked for was Sintel. And the shocker of that organization was that I spent my longest tenure in that company. So far, it's the longest tenure. And that organization was a complete culture shock for me. Okay, moving on from ABN AMRO and getting on to an organization like Sintel, it was a culture shock. But thanks to a very great gentleman, a lot of things were made easy for me. And that gentleman is right here with us. Raj, if you can just raise your hand. Raj was one of the greatest bosses, and I'm not boasting here. He was one of the greatest bosses that I've ever worked with. If you have to work with Raj, please excuse me, Raj. If you have to work with Raj, you have to have answers to all the questions. There is no question that cannot have answers to. You have to get into the details of everything that you go to him. The best thing is not go to him. But if you go to him, you better have all the answers. That was one trait of Raj. The other trait of Raj, which worked for me in my house personally, my daughter Vaishnavi, she was, for some reason, in one of the meetings with Raj, when she was like probably this tall, and Raj is a very tall person, she looked up to Raj and started getting very scared of Raj. So, whenever things did not work in my house, khana nahi khaya, doodh nahi piya, I said, beta so ja, nahi to Raj aa jayega. And trust me, it works a lot. Okay, but
Now it must be the reverse now. He must be saying, Soja nahi to Raj aa jayega.
thank you, Raj, for coming. I think I love you for this. But thank you so much, Raj. And obviously, Vaishnavi is now grown up. And who? Vaishnavi? Not. So moving on from there, so I did a 7-year stint with Raj and obviously Sintel, and that was probably my longest stint so far. Moving on from there, I went to this organization where I'm currently working, which is this company called Vara. It was a startup then. And again, while I had called Vishal, who's my immediate manager, to attend this, but again, he got stuck up somewhere. This organization is no comparison to both Sintel and to ABN. It is a startup. Things come aise hi ho jata hai. But somebody has to get things done. And I can see Nikita standing laughing here. She's my niece. And she believes that I am a boss who just sits. Oh, Vishal, what timing? Please come. So let me start the Vara story again.
No, please continue. You're starting from maybe na, bro?
No, Vara. So Vishal, just to give a background, I was just talking about my journey so far. So I'm at Vara right now. So I joined this organization Vara about 6.5 years back, and it was a startup. So a lot of things had to be done, and people had to be told what is to be done, how it's to be done, and we still continue to do that. And between Vishwajit and Raj, Vishal was a very different kind of a manager and a very different kind of a boss. So far, I have never seen an individual who is so patient. He's never getting angry. For whatever you do, to kuch bhi karo, kuch nahi karo, fir bhi Vishal doesn't get angry. I don't know, ma'am, how he is at home, but in office, he is definitely the most patient person in my life I have ever seen before. Doesn't get angry. So most people try to make him angry, but I don't know what doesn't work. He just doesn't get angry, and that's an amazing quality that Vishal carries with him. Thank you, Vishal, for coming. And here I was just talking about my niece. So Nikita, my niece here, believes that I am a typical dictator in the office. Okay, she believes that I just put work on people and just don't do any work myself, because whenever she looks at me, I am not doing any work. But that's not the reality. You can go and ask Vishal, who's sitting right at the back there, what work I do. Oh God, Vishal.
I want like 2 people agreeing to me now.
God. The Vara journey really cannot be complete, without mentioning a few people whose life I make really miserable throughout the day. Dinesh, Indraneel is also here. Where is Indraneel? Dinesh, Indraneel, Sanchari, Rashid, all these guys are part of my team, and I make sure that every morning I make their lives hell so that they work through the day and I don't have to do anything. So yeah, that's the journey so far that has happened with me in my life. Now, I have spoken about a few of the things that are in my life that have happened so far, but there are many other incidents and many other people who are also sitting in this room here. For example, Naveen and Kirti, you've come all the way from Chennai. Thank you so much. Thanks guys, love you for this. There are a lot of other members of the family who are sitting in this who really don't need a special mention, but they have really been an integral part of my life in some way or the other. Not just my friends, but my family. I can see a lot of them sitting here. Jay, my brother, he's been my partner in crime. So whatever we've done together, and so all of you sitting here have been in some form or the other an real integral part of my life. Let's not talk about that. And thank you very much for coming. I think, I really owe this and really appreciate all of you being here, despite the real traffic, despite the real, pains of coming to this place. I really appreciate the time that all of you have spent here, come together. We do have a little more surprises that will come along the next, 1 to 2 hours. And I really want each of you to enjoy the next couple of hours that we are going to spend together. Thank you so much for coming, and I really appreciate it. Good. Thank you for pointing out. Thank you for pointing and paying attention to what I was saying. So my life is quite incomplete without special mention to 3 people in my life.
वो भी हमने याद दिलाया।
नहीं, याद नहीं दिलाया. Without specific mention to 3 people in my life. So if it is okay, can I call Vaishnavi and my better half Vasanti to the stage? I promise you I won't speak anything bad about you. So, Vaishnavi is my daughter. She's all of 19. I must say that, from the very difficult childhood that you went through, you've now turned out to be a real fine lady who is the biggest critique of me. Anything that I do, she doesn't like it. Okay, so the first thing that she said when she came on stage, she said, "What shirt have you worn?" So that's where the critique is coming from. So she is a complete critic to me. She doesn't like anything that I do, so which is fine. But I do. But she's still a fine lady. She does a lot of things very well. And I think whether she shows it or not, she has very genuine concern for whatever all of us do in the house. And thank you so much. If I have to talk about you, we need to spend almost half a day because there is so much to talk about you. But let us go ahead with the rest of the program. Life is very incomplete without a special mention of my better half, my darling wife. So when we got married in 99, it was 27th January. This I had reversed today morning. So we've been now married since '99, and she's a very trained classical singer, and I don't like classical music. So the quintessential comparison of opposites attract is right here. Is right here on stage. We have very little common things. But having said all of that, we still adjust with each other. We still do things that we need to do for each other. And we manage to continue our relationship further and further and further. This whole program can go hours together if I have to talk about both these ladies. But for now, we will end it here. One third person who I really need to mention about is my dad. And so my dad spent, unlike my mom, my dad spent the longest time with us. Okay, all three of us. And unfortunately, he passed away 6 years back. And while it was the regret that I had on the side of my mom, I don't have the same regret on the side of my dad, because while he was with us for the longest time, we did a lot of things for him. And I'm sure that wherever he is still happy of all the things that we did for him as a family. I would have really loved him to be here sitting in the first row, listening to this moment. And, looking at all of us, looking at us, and spending this milestone together. But again, like I said, such is life. You have to move on. But I'm sure wherever he is listening to us, he's in a very happy zone. And while all of us in the family do miss him, it is what it is. I can't say more than what I've already said about him. So thank you so much once again. Thank you for coming down. Really appreciate the time that all of you have spent. But picture abhi baki hai.
Hello everyone. How difficult it is to talk, I really, I already lost it, but still, I'll find. But thank you everyone I want to thank, because you all came, you all thought that we are special in your life, and you all gave us that respect. It matters a lot, whether it is a traffic jam, whatever job or whatever. You all found time for us and you all made it. That goes for everyone who came just from the next building, all the way from Delhi, or anyone who's present over here has made this occasion special. Thank you once again. Family means everything. We are here because of family, and this function is a success because there are people clapping and whistling for us. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and everyone. Thank you very much. And as always, he's doing a great job. It was a real pleasure. I'm also enjoying every moment of this occasion. Thank you. Thank you.
Who said that? That's a big risk, okay? But I'm still...
Yeah, the story is never ending. We'll keep it some other day.
So as part of this, I just thought I will, while we've spoken about a lot of people, I just wanted to present a small video which we have created, which shows a little bit of a journey that many of us that I have gone through personally with many of you in this room. And it's a 9-minute video. I just want you to have a look at this, and then we will go on to the next step.
darling bro has been, I wouldn't say the word preaching and trying to say how his life has come up. I think today being a good occasion, we need to give back something for him, right? So I'm sure everyone will agree to it, yes? We need to give back something to him. So let us give him a small surprise. Okay, something which we have planned, which he is not aware about it. And we will do something special. And on that special occasion, it will not be right if he is sitting over there and enjoying. He has to be there with us. Right? Agreed? So all are ready for this small surprise? Okay, this surprise has been given by, I would say, we brothers and sisters. Okay, we are giving him a surprise and he is joining us in this surprise for us. So Vinod, before you run away, we are going to have a small surprise for you. And we want your presence over here. Let me invite my brothers, sisters, my cousin. Please come on stage and let us give him a small surprise. Yes, all will agree to it. We are doing our best and let us hope that he likes this present. Where is Vasanti and Vaishnavi? Yeah, I would prefer that you sit in the front seat and enjoy that small present that we are giving.
तेरे संग यार संगे यारे लंबे यारे कटे तेरे संगे यारे
Slow it down.
My God, this was completely unplanned. But having said that, I was not the original dancer with my sister. And I want to show you a video where my dear brother-in-law, he's sitting here. He was the one who had initially recorded the song with the dance with my sister. And I want to take a minute, the effort that he has put in doing that dance is immense. And I want to take a minute in presenting that on the screen today for all of us.
करना कभी तो मुझे नजरों से दूर कितने चलिए तो कितने चलिए तो कितने चलिए जानदार दिल ये तो जान दिया तू तेरे बिना मैं ना रहूं मेरे बिना तू कितने चलिए तो कितने चलिए तो कितने चलिए काटू कैसे राता हो सावरे जिया नहीं जाता बाबरे के रात लंबे यारे कटे तेरे संगे यारे रात लंबे यारे कटे तेरे संगे यारे
Thank you very much for this, completely unexpected, and I really loved this when I saw it the first time. And I'm sure I haven't done as much justice to the dance as much as he has done to the dance. Thank you so much for this. So while we will come back to this, we are just fixing this. I just want to do the quick cake cutting so that we can move on from there. So this cake cutting is, let me get the cake in the meanwhile. So as compared
Starbucks fan बोला क्या?
In our family.
No, no.
I would say within me. I wouldn't say within my family. I would say within me. I'm being very special. I'm being very specific. Within me. When a birthday cake cutting happens, 50% of the cake is given. 50% of the cake is given to all the invite, all of you all to have a nice bite of it. The rest of the 50% is actually whoever wants to lick can lick. It will be totally. But today I don't think I need to do that because the cake is because he has given us such a lovely time today. And I need to keep on looking at him and see his smiling face. So I don't want to do that.
But say something more. That 50% is coming on your.
Everyone.
Hey, don't,
Everyone is ensuring that a small bit of cake is put on his face. But where is the cream? Where is the cream? Hello. So everyone can hear? Everyone, no, Lata, wait. Everyone is ensuring that a small piece of cake is flat on his face. But today, where is the cream? That is more important. Am I right? Yes, everyone will agree to it. A little part of the cream has to go. And that too, Starbucks. Little part of the cream has to go. No, wait.
இல்ல அது விபூதி விடுறாரு விபூதி சுவாமியே சரணம்
Today is the first day in my life where the cake has gone untouched. Cake has really gone untouched. I have not done anything on his face. It's the first day I feel ashamed of myself.
Thank you, everybody. So we are just making one more